Hello, I'm Gwen Stevens, Director of Cooperative Relations at People's Energy Cooperative. As part of the director election process this year, members are also being asked to vote on proposed changes to the cooperative's bylaws. Before we get into what those changes are, it's important to remember that bylaws are the rules and principles that define an organization's governing structure. They serve as the architectural framework for not-for-profit organizations such as People's. Our board of directors and executive staff routinely refer to them to assist in the governance and management of cooperative operations. As a best practice, it's good for organizations to routinely review their bylaws to determine if any changes need to be made. Business practices, industry standards, and laws change, so it's important to ensure our governing rules are in alignment with how we do business. In 2021, the Board of Directors, executive staff, and legal counsel performed a thorough review of the cooperative's bylaws. We reviewed each article to ensure they are current, compliant with changes in law, and reflect best practices in the industry. It was also our intent to modernize archaic language, be clear in the intent, simplify language where possible, and provide for changes that facilitate a more efficient operation of the cooperative. We have been keeping notes for potential changes since the last amendments were approved in 2018. Over the course of about 5 months in 2021, we performed a thorough review, and last October, in accordance with Article 14 of the bylaws, the board unanimously resolved to submit amendments to the membership for a vote. Understanding an organization's bylaws can be confusing, let alone understanding proposed amendments. We are using this opportunity to walk through each article and review the related substantive changes in more detail than is provided in the booklet that was mailed as part of this year's ballot packet. The booklet can also be found on our website by visiting peoplesenergy.coop/content/bylaws-articles-incorporation. Let's dive into the amendments. Article 1 essentially outlines what it entails to be a member of People's Energy Cooperative. In items B and E of Section 1.1, unnecessary words were removed to correct the flow from the leading paragraph and did not change the context or intent of this section. In Section 1.4, text was added for clarity because the only way to terminate membership is to no longer receive electric service from the cooperative. The words central station were struck in Section 1.6 because they are not relevant. We believe this may have been in reference to when the cooperative purchased power from the central station in Rochester way back in the 30s. Text was added to Section 1.6 to provide clarity for members who generate some of their own power through a distributed generation system such as a wind turbine or solar array. This is also in compliance with current state laws. Section 1.7 was removed in its entirety as we have not and do not use member classes for any purpose at the cooperative. Article 2 of the bylaws covers the rights and liabilities of members. Section 2.2 was reworded to be clear on what is expected of members for the cooperative to provide safe and reliable electric service to all members. This is important because from time to time, cooperative employees need to access cooperative-owned equipment that is on a member's private property to restore power, perform maintenance, or upgrade the equipment for reasons of safety and reliability. It also addresses the cooperative's ability to allow third parties, such as cable, broadband, or telephone companies, to attach lines and equipment to the cooperative's poles. The words cooperative wiring standards were added to Section 2.3 to be clear that a service may be disconnected if the cooperative's wiring standards are not met. In Section 2.7, the word officers was removed because the officers of the cooperative are appointed by the Board of Directors and not by a vote of the members. Article 3 provides guidance for member meetings and when members need to vote. This article now reflects advances in technology that provide the opportunity for online meetings and secure online voting. In Section 3.5, the text present and in person at the meeting contradicts what is stated in Section 3.6, so it was removed. A mail vote was changed to a ballot vote since not all ballots are submitted by mail. Text was added to Sections 3.6 and 3.7 to clarify that a member may vote online. The cooperative has been utilizing secure online voting since 2016. Section 3.10 was edited to reflect current and best voting practices, which are what we follow today. The word its was also added to his/her to reflect business memberships. Article 4 addresses the way the Board of Directors conducts themselves and the governing of the cooperative. This article saw significant changes by our legal counsel to keep in line with current best practices in the industry. Section 4.1 was edited to clarify that the cooperative is governed by the Board of Directors and managed by the President and CEO as set in policy. The text that was struck in Section 4.2 was updated, expanded upon, and turned into Section 4.3. The text that was added to the remaining language in Section 4.2 clarifies how districts are determined, which is the current practice. Section 4.3 now specifically addresses director qualifications and lists them out in a more readable format. Section 4.5 addresses the nomination process for nominating candidates to be elected to the Board of Directors. The number of days were increased to provide more time for nominating committee members to follow the nomination process. Striking the text that stated a nominating committee member must be from the districts up for election enables any member to serve on the nominating committee, not just those who represent the districts up for election. Sections 4.7, 4.8, and 4.9 were all added to provide more guidance for the Board of Directors. Adding the word policies to Section 4.11 clarifies the existing practice of the board approving all policies in place that employees must follow. Article 5 provides guidance on how the Board of Directors meets to conduct cooperative business. The board meets monthly to share and receive updates on project and what's going on in the industry. They also take necessary action at each meeting to approve any rate, finance, policy, or proposed topic on their agenda. Section 5.1 had text removed because the specific meeting referenced is not necessary and no longer takes place. Section 5.3 was added to accommodate for technology that enables board meetings to take place via teleconference. A great example of this is when the board met virtually a few times during the COVID-19 pandemic. Article 6 outlines guidance related to the officers of the Board of Directors. The officers include the Chair, Vice Chair, Secretary, and Treasurer. The Secretary and Treasurer role are filled by the same person. Section 6.3 was removed because it is covered in Section 2.7. Section 6.4 was removed because it is covered in Section 4.6. In Section 6.5, text was updated to reflect current practices and technology used for record keeping. All records, including member records, are now kept electronically, and so we no longer use physical books to house the minutes of meetings. The Member Services Department oversees the addresses for all members, which are stored in our electronic customer information system. Section 8 in the Cooperative Bylaws addresses what we commonly refer to as capital credits. As a not-for-profit cooperative, our mission is to serve our members and not make a profit. Therefore, margins are returned to members in the form of capital credits based on a member's patronage. Section 8.3 addresses patronage refunds not associated with the sale of electric service and when the cooperative receives capital credits from organizations we are members of, like our insurance company, call center, and banking institutions. Patronage refunds from organizations like this to the cooperative are not always tied to member patronage, but the patronage of the cooperative as a member of these organizations. In Section 8.3, text was added to enable the cooperative to retain patronage refunds of these types of organizations if approved by the Board of Directors. Sections 7 and 10 through 14 did not have any substantive changes and therefore are not on the ballot for a vote. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you found it informative and that it answered any questions you may have had. If you still have any questions, please feel free to reach out and we'd be happy to help you. You can visit our website at peoplesenergy.coop or call us at 1-800-214-2694 during business hours, which are Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m.